And we're back. I'm your host, Chris Randazzo, joined by our next guest, who is a director at Attorney Network Incorporated, Nevine Carmelle. And hello, welcome to the show, Nevine.
Hi. How are you doing?
Doing great. So, you know what? Tell us a bit about what you do. I know that there's a little bit more to it than what I just said.
Yes. I'm an enrolled agent, licensed to practice before the IRS. I have a master's degree in taxation from Golden Gate University. I also have several other licenses, real estate and insurance or whatever. We do have about 6 attorneys and members of our network company that they are ready to jump in and help clients in criminal matters, family law issues, real estate, personal injury, and any like sexual harassment, business litigation, regular business litigation as well. What we do is we do tax representation. If any client has any tax problem in any kind with any state or IRS as well, we are more than happy to help them as well, too. We've been in business for over 10 years.
Wow. So it seems like that you have just about every avenue covered, just about every end of the spectrum.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop for everything, basically, especially business planning and business structuring. You know, a lot of clients, they don't even know that they need us for something like that. Some clients, they don't know what they don't know. You know, as far as business planning and business structuring, some clients, they're just operating their business and business owners, individuals. They're just sole proprietor, and they don't understand or realize the exposure as far as tax and liability or legal liability that they're exposing themselves to. Individuals and small business owners, even big now too, but they come to our office and they really need our help to protect them from the legal liability and from tax and minimize their taxes legally as well too.
Pretty amazing. How have things evolved in your field since you've first got into it somewhat near a decade ago?
Well, it's more needed. I mean, most people, they need these type of services, and they started to realize it as, you know, as a necessity rather than just luxurious planning. You know, a lot of people back then, they were not familiar with S corporations, C corporations, limited liability company, limited partnership. Back then, they were just, you know, just the tradition business structuring, which is give you very, very basic protection and tax benefits, very, very basic. Like I said, sole proprietorship, just a simple S corporation, which it flows through right to your individual return, which it doesn't give you much of tax protection or legal liability of any kind. You can, you know, now, actually since 10 years ago, you know, the state adopted the limited liability company, which is a more sophisticated entity that a lot of people are not familiar with, but it incorporates actually the best of both worlds. It's the attributes of the corporations and the best attributes of the partnership as well, too. Come into our office, we'll tell them and educate them on what's the best structure for their business as well.
Absolutely. And being that there are so many options, for instance, you mentioned S Corporation, which is for a small business owner probably a very good idea because it's a lower fee than to go incorporated and become an LLC. And also it protects you in ways where you can't lose your assets if you become bankrupt, if I'm correct, I think, as far as a few other benefits.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. And there are more to it than just those. I mean, and it depends on what type of business as well, too. And it depends also whether it's going to be a California-based or out-of-state-based based on the type of business. You know, like most people, if they have offices here in California, they have employees here in California sites, then they have to incorporate here in California. And then you'll be subject to 9.3 California tax. You'll be subject to $800 franchise tax annual. Whether you make profit or not, you're going to be subject to the $800 minimum tax. that you have to pay every year in any California corporation, whether S Corp or C Corp. However, if your business is different and it's operating your business from some other state, then we can talk about other states and multi-state tax as well too, how to incorporate that and how to apply that to your benefit and minimize it as well too.
Pretty incredible stuff. It's such a very important subject for everyone to understand, and at the very same time, there's very limited understanding of just some of the options that are out there for some of us. And,
correct.
And
correct. And the fact that there are so many choices out there, it's very, very important to know which one is the best for you. There are some people, they operate under living trust and even the types of trust, the AP trust, the marital trust, and just the living, simple marital trust. Again, S Corp, C Corp, limited liability company, limited partnership, limited LLP. There are several entities, structures, business structures out there that clients, I don't blame them. They get confused. They don't know which one is best for them, which one based on what. So you really need someone who has the tax, the legal, the real estate, the insurance, the finance background for so long, and the experience, obviously, that can give you, after the review and analyze your situation based on your circumstances. What's good for a young couple, it's not good for a retired couple. And if you're single or a household or a single mom or single parent, and if you have children, there are a lot to it, more than just S Corp, C Corp, whatever. I mean, in order to come up with the right business structure, you have to analyze your circumstances and how much your income would be and the parameters. I mean, there are a lot of factors into deciding which way to go and how and why, and based on your budget as well too. What are you planning? And there are a lot to it, more than just saying, oh, I'm going to do S Corp today and C Corp tomorrow. You know what I mean? There are a lot of business owners, they're not familiar with what they don't know. So when they come into our office, we educate them. We'll let them know, okay, this is the best way because 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing, tell them about the tax and the real estate ramifications and, of course, the finance and the financial aspects of it as well.
Absolutely. I'd like to take a moment to share your website with our listeners, which is www.nevinecarmelle.com. That's NevineCarmelle.com. And you could also email Nevine at saveyourproperties.org. Would you be able to tell us briefly what we could find on your website?
Yes, we incorporate our services. Everything is going to be on our website. What we do, what we cover among our associate attorneys as well. We cover the bankruptcy. If it's necessary to file bankruptcy, we'll help you with that. Whether Chapter 7, complete liquidation, or Chapter 13 for reorganization for small businesses, or Chapter 11 for big reorganization as well, we can help you reorganize, your business, whether it's LLC or business owner again, or if you're just an individual. Also, we cover all the areas of, if you're facing an unlawful detainer action, if you're facing a lawsuit, business litigation, real estate, family law issues as well. We do cover if you are, facing divorce. We can help you with that. Child custody, restraining orders, whether it's civil or criminal restraining orders, we can help you with both. We have our criminal attorneys ready to defend you if you get a bogus or frivolous lawsuit out there. We can help you with that. Personal injury as well, whether soft or whether serious or not, we can help you with it. The website actually tells you what we do. Like, again, it's a one-stop shop for everything. And that's what you really need, because some clients and business owners, they go to one professional tells them, no, S Corporation or CPA, S Corp would be the best then he goes get a second opinion from another attorney telling, no, the limited partnership is the best. Then he goes to a different professional, tell them a different. Well, you need one professional entity, business such as ourselves, that tells you everything. We already searched, and we already experienced, and we already have all the background, the real estate, legal, tax aspect of everything, and we come up with the right structure for you. You don't want to have multiple. You don't want to get confused, and you don't want to have multiple opinions from different professionals, and then at the end you just sit there and say, okay, well, I don't know which one is the one who's telling me the right thing. You know, they all could be right, but then how are you going to incorporate that to your own business? So,
absolutely.
And all that, it affects everything in your life. You know, it affects your tax, profit. It affects your legal liability. It affects everything. If you pay more tax, then you have a less profit. Then you go back to your wife. You tell your wife you're not making enough money. Then it affects your kids. I mean, everything affects everything. So
domino
once you
rally.
come to one step, absolutely. So once you come to our office, you make sure that you're covered in all areas, and that's what you need.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing. As director of the Attorney Network Incorporated, Nevine Carmelle. Again, you can look her up at NevineCarmelle.com. Nevine at SaveYourProperties.org is the email address. And thank you so much to our guest, Nevine Carmelle.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
And thank you for being on the show today on Spotlite Radio. I'm your host, Chris Randazzo, and stay tuned, everybody, because we will be right back with our next guest.
You're listening to Spotlite Radio.